Now I'm currently still in the ring part, right where we left in the end of the last video. So if I want to assemble this, I need to get back into the main assembly, or the one that these are all a part of, which again, we're not dealing with sub-assemblies yet, so this is PEG. So I double click on PEG, and now my toolbar changes over to the assembly mode, product mode, okay? Now the other thing I might want to do is possibly move this around a little bit. So if we recall, we can take our compass down here and I can stick it to things. I could stick it to this. Now notice that when I stuck it to it, it highlighted the ring portion of this, but it really easily could have possibly got stuck to the yellow instead. So be mindful of what thing it's sticking to, okay? So I'm going to bring this over here, drop this off, and I want to make sure that I'm right there on the green one. So now it looks like I got the yellow one, you see? You see? So what do I got to do here? What do I got to do to, I want to move the green one away so I can assemble it to the yellow one. I also don't want the yellow one to move, okay? The things we did last time. So I'm going to drop this off here, and I'm going to hit Control Z to undo to bring it right back where it was. I, in this exercise, do not care really where this yellow peg goes, but maybe in a different version of a real life situation, I've already placed it exactly where it needs to go. And so that little bit of an accidental move that I just did there could have been bad. So let's say that's why I just undid it, to put it right back where it was. So the very first thing that I want to do is I want to pick on this, and I can see it light up over in the tree. We have a couple of other things we can do here. We can center the tree on pre-selected objects, and so it will, if you notice, it moved the tree a tiny little bit because it's centering it right on this pad that I picked on. And so if I do this one here, then it centers it over here on that one. So, you know, it's a way to do it. If I move this over here, I could right click on this. I could say reframe on that, and it will move this back kind of into the window here. A couple different ways I could find where this part is, okay? All I really want to do is pick on this so that I could fix it. I want to fix this part in space. Okay, so I choose it right there, and I say fix, and I'm currently in assembly mode, so it's going to add an engineering connection automatically. It's called fix, and it's for peg 1, okay? And you can dig down in here, you can see the specifics, right? Do you remember what that little red thing means? Is it anything we need to be worried about? No, but if I wanted to make it go away, I could update. Okay, so now if I want to take my compass and I want to stick it on one of these things right here, and I accidentally get it on the yellow one, it's not going to let me move it because that's fixed in space. So I can come down here, I can stick on this, and then what you can do is, if it's not on the right thing, you can pick it in the tree. You see what I'm doing here? I can pick it over here, and now that's saying do that to that particular item, okay? I could have done that, yes, in the very beginning, but I wanted to show you fix again. Okay, now I want to move this away. I could move it down here, and you go, oh, wait, that's not going to help, though, because it's supposed to be up there. You need to move it up there. Remember what I said before. It doesn't matter where I put it because it's going to be assembled. The reason I wanted to move it away is because I couldn't see this hole in the cylinder so well because it was embedded into the yellow. I could have it, oops, you got to pick it. If it does that, you're not selecting it any longer. And it doesn't matter that thing's crooked. Not necessarily, but you see it's going to move kind of silly. I could absolutely have it here, just like we did in our last exercises. I could have it all turned around like so. Doesn't matter. Let's bring the compass back to where it goes, put it back. Now I can create my engineering connection, okay? And so the first one I'm going to do is a coincident. So remember in the last one, we did a coincident to the edge of a block, and you could see the line, right? Remember that? You could see the line of the edge of the block. Well, you can go over here, and I can pick an engineering connection, and I can say I want to have this one right here, my coincident here. If I click, you got to kind of click away, then it pops out. See, adds a coincident constraint. So I pick this, and you might be thinking I don't have any lines, but all versions of CATIA have done this, that if I have a cylinder, it will automatically find the axial center of it, and that is a line. So for example, on the inside right there, you see that? If I just pick, don't pick the ring, pick the wall, you see? I'm picking the wall, so that's that whole cylinder on the inside, and it says, oh, there's a line, you see? If I pick this outside one like this, then I'll get the same thing, you see? So it kind of doesn't really matter. However, I would say that I'm sticking the peg into this hole, so that should be the one you pick. It doesn't, like I said, doesn't exactly matter, but if this outer ring somehow decided one day to not be a ring, then but the center is always a ring, it might be a problem, okay? So I'm going to pick that. So I click it, and it goes kind of transparent there, and we've got axes right there, and it says, which other one do you want? So I move this around here, and what do? Well, I pick that. I just pick the side of it. Again, not the edge or anything, the side of that cylinder. Click. It's going to line it up. But again, you might not have been expecting this. From the last lab, I talked about the same kind of thing. It aligns, it puts the two centers, or whatever it is. In the last one, it was a contact constraint. It puts them together the quickest, shortest route. So this thing was currently over here, so it snapped it together. Should we be concerned about that? No, not a single bit, because we know we have other constraints to add. There's our interference. Yeah, we'll deal with that in a second. Okay, so I have this here, and now what do I want to do? Well, I want to make this face contact or offset from that face. We'll just do a contact again. If it was really bothering me that this was embedded in the other part, I could still slide around. Or maybe, for some reason, this part right here wasn't shaped all symmetrically like this. So maybe this face was no good to pick, but maybe that face inside there is the one that I want. I can't get to it, okay? So just know that I can come out here still, and I could stick my compass to that part. By the way, did you notice that it kind of grabs the axial center because I dropped it on the side? And then I can move this all the way up here somewhere. I cannot move it side to side because it is constrained center to center. Okay, coincidence. Drop this. Okay, and then next we're going to make a new one. Should we make a new one here? Remember this story? Should we make a new contact constraint? Well, this is an object. This is an object. We already have a thing created. What's the thing called? It's our engineering connection made for ring to peg. Okay, ring to peg right there. So I can go here and I can edit this one, and I want to add in a contact constraint. So I go over here. Oh, but my icons aren't there. Why are my icons not here? Because remember, it locks it. So I unlock it, and now they're back, and then I have my contact constraint, and then it says, okay, great, what do you want to do? Well, I want to do this one right here to that one right there. Okay. And now all of our constraints for this set, this object and this object, are inside of here. And hopefully that's starting to make more sense, and more sense why it makes sense that they did this in 3D Experience. And we'll just say okay to that one again for now. All right. So that is it. That's our PEG lab. Just a bit of a review, a reason to make some more parts, to touch part design as always, and a couple new features as well, like being able to set up a coincidence from a cylinder edge.